When we think about the DMR, we think about longer barrel rifles like the M14 and its EBR version, or the Mark 11 SR25. But as of late, there's been one that's making its way around the internet in both hands of operators and video games alike. The G28 is the latest, hottest DMR from H&K, and it's sure turning heads. Oh yeah, quite a few heads. The G28 has been making appearances in the airsoft community for some time, and it's frankly been one of those I must review type guns. So finally, at long last, today we're going to be talking about the ultimate DMR, the Umarex G28 AEG. Alright guys, we're going to waste no time and we're going to jump right in to the Umarex license G28 AEG. Now this is the Asian DX version, and what does that mean? Well, two things. One, it comes with the fancy furniture like the bipod and the foregrip and this cool mount. This is actually two pieces. The bottom portion as well as this top mount for a red dot, as well as these really nice rail covers. The second thing that it means is it comes with all of the corresponding and correct markings. Basically, it's like H&K threw up its logo all over its gun because it's everywhere. The color and finishing is superb as it's a gun from Umarex, so I don't know what you were expecting. It's also got a bit of weight to it, but it's not unmanageable, unlike some other sniper DMRs I have handled out there. I do have to say though, that this small section of the upper receiver looks more like a shade of mustard instead of like a flat dark earth. Just saying. The G28 is also very akin to the 417, which I think you guys know what that means. It means, for this review, once again, for all intents and purposes, we will be comparing the G28 to, wait for it, the 417. Let's jump right into it. The first initial difference I'm going to let you guys in on is the 417 is a GBBR and the G28 is an AEG. Now, putting aside the difference in platform, the second difference is the overall length. The overall length of the G28 comes in at 975 millimeters, whereas the 417 comes in at 920, a couple millimeters off. Whilst we're at the front, let's look at the next visible difference, which are the flash hiders. On the 417, it has the traditional A2 birdcage style flash hider, whereas on the G28, it looks vastly different. They both, though, however, do have these flip-up front sights. And they're both recessed into the rail, making them extremely low profile. Both guns have very long monolithic style upper rails, with the 417 having complete full-length rails on the sides as well as the bottom. On the G28, towards the front section of the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock rails, they are actually smooth. Moving towards the middle portion of the guns, we come to their upper and lower receivers. Both have markings on them with the exception of, you guessed it, one says G28, one says 417. Okay, from there we go to the magazines. Both are 308 style, both slightly transparent, with the G28 having these dummy rounds inside to add to its overall immersion. The controls are all situated in the same place for both guns with two minor differences. One, on the G28, the bolt release is slightly larger and it's shielded by this little piece up here, whereas on the 417, it's just a regular AR size bolt release with no shielding. Second thing is going to be its fire selector. On the G28, it is shorter and it is a paddle design, whereas the 417 has just a straight down fire selector. While we're on the topic of fire selectors, the 417 has a truly functional ambidextrous fire selector. That means if I flip it on semi-auto or full auto on one side, you'd expect the other side to move exactly the same, right? Duh. However, on the G28, this one, you would think it has a ambidextrous fire selector. Like you see one here and you see one right here. But it actually does not, because only one fire selector really works. That means as I am flipping this one here, the other one doesn't move. Let me show you. Turn this around. Now I'm going to put it in semi-auto. Pay attention here. Nothing. Full auto. Nothing. This is just a dummy. Is it really that hard to make this thing ambidextrous? Alright, slight rant aside. Back to comparing the both of them. Moving to the pistol grips, both of which I absolutely do not like. And then we come to the rear portion of the gun, the stocks. Let's talk about this. This monstrosity of a stock. I have never, ever liked any of the H&K 416 or 417 stocks when they looked and felt and were shaped like this. The butt pad was convex and it never sat right on your shoulder and it was bulky. I just did not enjoy this. However, we move to this. Here is what you would call an extremely high-tech, obviously German engineered buttstock. For starters, it is much more refined and slimlined compared to the previous H&K stocks that we just talked about. Let's talk about this, shall we? First, it has a cheek riser that is adjustable for height as well as it can be moved forward and backwards up to wherever you want your cheek to be, depending on your length of pole you want this stock to get to. Then, it has a knob down here that can adjust this concaved, finally, butt pad that sits comfortably in your shoulder, and it, believe me, it is very comfortable to shoulder. Thank you, H&K, you fixed your stock. Final difference, we're gonna discuss the hop-ups. For the G28, just like any AEG, you find the hop-up chamber right here, and you can adjust for more and less hop to your heart's content. For the 417, not as easy. You remove the magazine, pull the bolt back, lock it in place, and you adjust the hop-up in this small hole right here with an extremely long, extremely thin Allen wrench. Not a good time, not fun. I'm using 0.2 gram BBs and an 11.1 LiPo. Here we are at the lovely W28 Center outdoors here in Hong Kong, because hey, why not, right? We're gonna have to show you guys the distance and accuracy of both guns. We're standing roughly, hey, how far away are we?
We're about 50 meters away.
Roughly 50 meters away.
47.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
I have no idea.
Walk-ons, man. Let's shoot the guns. Well, now that we know exactly how far we are away from the target, I'm gonna start with the G28. The wind picked up a little bit, so the BBs are drifting just a little to the right. But for the most part, it's hitting exactly where I'm aiming. Now it's time for that 417. 417, because we couldn't adjust the hop up, it was a little harder to compensate for the shots downrange, especially when the wind picked up a little bit. It was really fun to shoot though. Boy, am I glad to be back after that shooting outside, because it was hot. Alas, if you guys like other DMR videos, why don't you check out the video that Tim did for the HK417? Or the SR25 video I did right here. And if you want a sneak peek at the GBBR version of the G28, Tim also checked that one out on the bottom video right there. Alright guys, my conclusion is this. For a moment, let's just suspend the price tag for this beautiful, very capable DMR. I was very impressed. Out of the box performance, hitting targets just where I pointed them, extremely functional gun, and the best thing, fully loaded, it doesn't even feel as heavy as the 417. If you're looking for a DMR that you want to invest a little bit of money in that looks great, I would really not think about anything else and give this guy a go. Of course, if it's within your budget. That aside, what a gun, and it did not fail to impress me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want guns like this and a ton of other cool products, don't forget to check out our online store at www.redwolfairsoft.com. My name is Mark, aka Blue Steel, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of RedWolf TV. Now I'm going to go do very inappropriate things with this G28. Have a good one, guys.